Hello Year 3 and welcome to today's maths lesson. Today's maths lesson is looking at comparing amounts of money. So let's learn. Who has more? Ella has £29.50 and Ty has £32.20. How do we compare them? Well, first you compare the pounds. 32 is greater than 29. That means that £32.20 is more than £29.50. £29.50 is then less than £32.20. So that tells us that Ty has more money. So when you are looking at comparing amounts, remember you always start with the column that has the greatest value, because the greater that column, the greater the number. So if you're looking to compare two amounts of money, look at the pounds first to see who has the most pounds. So who has less? Maya has £63.25. Jack has £63.70. What do you notice is different about this one compared to the last one? So if you look now, we would begin comparing by looking in our greatest column and we look in the pounds, but they are equal. So first we compared the pounds. They are the same. So then we compare the pence. We have 25 and 70. We know that 70 is greater than 25. So that tells us that £63.70 is more than £63.25. It also tells us that £63.25 is less than £63.70. That tells us that Maya has less money. Always be careful when you're answering questions that it's asking for who has less or who has more. So we've got some statements here. Millie has £20.40, Omar has £20.25, and Peter has £20.75. Who has the most money? Who has the least money? Well, first we compare the pounds. But look, if we compare the pounds, we can see they are all equal. So we go on to comparing the pence. 40, 25, 75. Well, which one is the greatest and which one is the smallest? Who has the most money and who has the least? Pause the video and see if you can complete that information. So hopefully you had a go at completing it yourself. Well, we know that they've all got the equal amount of pounds and that 75p is greater than 25 or 40. So that tells us that the greatest amount is £20.75. We know that 25 is smaller than 40, so that tells us that £20.25 is the smallest amount. Well, who has the most money? Peter. Who has the least? Omar. Compare £40.35, £40.80 and £44.55. Which is the greatest amount? Which amount is the smallest? Well, let's have a look. What do we do first? In fact, I'd like you to have a go before I go through the answers. So the first thing we do is we look at the pounds. We've got £40, £40 and £44. That tells us straight away that £44.55 is the greatest amount. Then in order to look at which one is the smallest, they both have an equal number of pounds, so we look at the next column. We've got 35 pence and 80 pence. We know that 80 is greater than 35, so that tells us that £40.35 is the smallest amount. Now, if we were going to arrange them in order from smallest to largest, beginning with the smallest is £40.35, then we'd have £40.80, and last we'd have £44.55 as our greatest amount. So it's over to you now. You've got your pages from your practice book. I'd like you to have a go, as well as completing the tasks I've been through with you. I'd like you to fill out in the same way that we just have. Think about what you need to look at first. Something is more than something else. So fill in the missing amounts. Who has the most money? There's another one here for you to do, saying which is the greatest amount and which is the smallest. Who has the most money? Who has the least money? And then here, I've put some amounts in pounds and pence, and you have to write the amount in each space. This space here is for you to write how much money is pictured in that box. You then need to tick the box which contains the greatest amount. Then you've got A is comparing these two amounts, you have to circle the smallest amount. B is comparing these two, circle the smallest. And C is comparing these two, circle the smallest. And then this side you're circling the greatest, so you're comparing these two and circling the greatest, comparing these two and comparing these two. I'm not going to go through the answers because they are on the website, but good luck and I hope it goes well. Goodbye.